What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flagrant 2's Patreon episode, No Easy Buckets. Water cooler commentary for your sports needs. Analysis by assholes. I missed one. But we're back in it. And happy Thanksgiving. This episode.
Happy Black Friday.
Happy Black Friday, man. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys so much for being part of this community. We got a very spicy week. We had an incredible episode with Miko Grimes. Thank you, Miko Grimes, for coming on the podcast.
Queen.
Man, it was so...
The one time I wish our female listenership was higher just so these hosts could learn how to act.
That's just a ride or die over there.
Head once a week at a minimum? That's great. That's a wifey.
Wifey. That's a queen. God damn.
Monroe Martin has a
I wouldn't even discredit her by just calling her wifey, bro. I'll give her a
queen.
fucking crown. Hell yeah. Call him up, man.
All right, we have a special guest.
Yeah, we're going to get to this early because it's early on his side. And he has rehab in a few.
Oh, is he still rehabbing?
Yeah, he's
What's he rehabbing?
He's trying to play, dude.
That's not...
He's trying to play, man.
But rehabbing? That's an injury.
Yo. Let me intro you real quick. We got a history maker on our line today on the Flagrant 2 hotline. Now I'm saying former New York Knicks, so he always gets love from me. The one and only person in the history of the NBA to win the NBA Slam Dunk Championship 3 times. Give it up to one of the greatest dunkers, greatest athletes to ever step foot in the NBA court. My man Nate Robinson is on the Flagrant 2 podcast. What up, Nate?
What's up, guys?
I'm good,
How you
man.
doing? You sound groggy.
Nah, man, y'all waking me up at 6, 7 a.m. I mean, shit.
You gotta be. Come on, bro. You doing a comeback. These are comeback hours.
Yeah, you don't got rehab today.
Yeah, rehab is in a bit after this, so I'm gonna knock it out in a minute.
What are you rehabbing?
I'm rehabbing my meniscus.
Okay.
Man,
okay.
see?
Yeah, but I'll be back. I'm already walking and running a little bit now, so I'll be back probably full health in
now.
Late December.
Nate, are you in Washington doing this rehab?
Yes. Yeah, I'm in Seattle. I'll be there.
You're out in Seattle?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you a question. What is it about these pasty vegan bitches that you love so much that you get brought back to Seattle? No matter how far you go, man. We bring you to the bright lights of New York City. You got Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Indians, Asians,
mommies in Seattle.
Do you know what I mean?
That was my problem. That was my problem in New York City. I had to get out of there. Too many Spanish mommies, but I had to come back home.
So you went back to my roots. You went back to rehab in a place you knew you could concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't going to be distracted.
You went back to a place where they spell mommy M-O-M-M-Y.
Now, Nate, man, speaking of Seattle, it's produced a lot of hoopers. You know what I mean? One right now playing for the Knicks is Alonzo Trier. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody that you've watched growing up for a while. What are your thoughts on him, man? Because I know when we caught up, you was talking a lot about him in L.A. and saying, yo, he's a real one. He's a hooper.
Man. Yeah, man, I just don't understand how a guy like that with so much talent can go undrafted. That just shows that GMs, that they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're doing sometimes. And, they make mistakes just like we do, like, people like that. So, Lonzo, he's been good. He lived there in Seattle. He moved out of here, went to Vegas to school. Then he went to Arizona. Then from Arizona, I don't know how you go undrafted, but he was one hell of a player there. And then now he's showing the league, what he can do. He's already making people fall, dunking on people, and he's only a rookie. And it's only going to get better. So I hope the Knicks understand that they got a real baller on their hands and that they can open their eyes and understand that Seattle got some cold ballers, man, period. I don't care what nobody say. We can go up against some of the best players in the world, and that's just how we do.
Yeah, I hear you, man. All right, let me ask you a question, because you were a teammate that was incredibly skilled but could also be a pain in the ass for a coach. So what was it? What do you think is happening in Washington, D.C. right now?
With John and Bill and all of the guys over there, I don't know, man. I mean, everybody's gonna point fingers when you start losing, man. That's just what it is. If they were winning, they wouldn't say any of this.
Yeah,
really.
So for sure, I've been a part of it before, being with the Knicks and being on a losing team, and we win a little bit, and then winning makes everything a little bit better. It makes the chicken strips taste a little bit better. It makes that lemonade is a little bit more brisk when you win. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I just think they need to just, find a way to get on the winning streak before they, make some crazy decisions on trade these guys when those are the guys they actually need to win.
I have a question, right? And it's really just about Washington, D.C., the organization, right? Washington, D.C. is looking for a coach, right? And they're like, we have a dominant personality in our point guard. We need a coach that has the ability to coach a dominating personality of a point guard. So then they get Scott Brooks, who just failed trying to coach a dominant personality of a point guard. How much is on the organization?
I mean, it's one thing when you got coaches that be stuck in their ways in a certain way, and then you got a player that is in like a John Wall, barely dealing these guys that, they demand so much because, they work so hard, man, and they want to be the person to lead the team. So the coach don't have to coach as much, but the coaches, they be trying to coach and do so much instead of just letting some of the players play sometimes. But I just think that, like you said, like I said earlier, they got to figure out a way just to find a way to win. They got to figure out that way to win, no matter how they do it. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta go out. You see, they came back down 24 the other night, last night.
Yeah.
Came back and win. So they came back and won the game. So they just gotta however they finish the game, that's how they gotta play the rest of the season. I think they'll be all right, and then they can turn the season around and be like, yeah, we started the season like this, and then we ended it like this to make it in the playoffs. So as long as they make the playoffs, I think it's a successful season.
Now, Nate, Andrew just mentioned Scott Brooks. That's one of the many shitty coaches you played for. Who was the worst coach you played for?
No, it was.
Now, D'Antoni,
It was.
Tibbs don't give a fuck about your body.
It was tough. It was tough being in OKC the year I was there, man, because when I got there, I knew I wasn't going to play, and I was behind. And this is no disrespect to my guy Eric Maynard, but I was playing behind Eric Maynard. Like, they were like, this is our guy who we're going with. And I'm looking around like, are you kidding me? Like, every day at practice, they were, like, we had to stand on the side and run up. Like, we had to run lines when they were scrimmage. And, like, we had to run lines. So every time they went down and ran, like, they ran down on the other side, we had to run down and wait. And then when they run back, I said, man, this ain't no cartoon. Like, cartoon characters running back one. I said, no. I had to stop practice one day. Like, yo, so do we not get to practice?
Oh, man.
I'm lost. So, I think that, they took that from me. I think that a lot of coaches that I've been around, they took that as like, I don't want to say disrespect, but they took that in a negative way because I was so passionate about playing, and that's practice. And most guys don't even want to practice in the league. Most guys want to chill and just wait for the game. So for me, I was like, no, I like to actually practice. That's how I work on my game. That's how I get better for the game. So, it was tough, but I don't know, man. I had some cool coaches. I had some bad coaches, and I wouldn't necessarily say D'Antoni was a bad coach. He was just a bad fit, I guess, for me. He just didn't like me or something. I don't know. I mean, me and Carlos Boozer, we got some passes on our first podcast. We got passed it to All-Star Weekend at Media Day. And I asked D'Antoni, I asked all the players, we asked him questions, and then D'Antoni came up. And I told Boozer, I said, I was going to ask him why he sat me down for them 14 games. And I really want to know what I did. And, I never asked him over the years. I've never asked him. So, I went up to him and asked him in front of everybody, like, yo, D'Antoni, I was like, yo, why you didn't play? And it's funny because I was like, yo, why you didn't play Nate Robinson? And I said it like, I wasn't there. I said, why you didn't play Nate Robinson for them 14 games and he had 41 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals? Why you didn't play him that, and he had that game, and he was like, he couldn't give me a real answer. It was so funny, and I put him on the spot. He was like a deer in the headlights. He didn't know what to say, what to do. It was pretty cool. It was like pretty like the best Q&A I ever had.
You know why he didn't play you? Because you were stealing all his pasty white bitches.
Hey, it's funny because people ask me that. They were like, man, did you sleep with somebody's girl, man? You got blackballed out the league?
Hey, I'm going to be honest, I believe that.
I was like, I hope not. I hope I didn't, man. I hope I didn't.
D'Antoni like
sleep
them
with somebody's
chicks.
girl. Man, I hope I didn't sleep with somebody's girl, man, and somebody was like, you know what, we're going to blackball Nate Robinson. And I hope that wasn't the case. And if it was, Hey, and if it was, I want to say here, I apologize.
Yo, there's so I heard a story. My understanding about you, Nate, is that you love to compete.
Yeah, too much. A little too much, man.
So,
yeah.
So can you clarify this story? I was hearing a story. It was you were in Denver, right? And what was the point guard's name? He was in
Ty Lawson.
Ty,
Lawson,
yeah. Now on that team, it was you, Ty, and there was I can't believe
Andre Miller.
And Andre, consummate professional. Andre is probably 53 years old at the time. Hasn't missed a game.
Getting buckets still too. Buckets at 52.
Bruh, and he he's like, I don't work out. Like he just says shit that's crazy like that. Ty is starting, but Ty's drinking. Was Ty just drunk every day? What was the issue with Ty?
Man, I mean, Ty just liked to party, man. That was his deal. That was him.
Right.
And it's funny because some players are game players. Like Ty's a gamer. He no matter how much he partied and drank or whatever, he always showed up ready to play. And I thought it was unbelievable. I'm like, bro, you really go so hard, and then you go even harder in the game.
Right.
I'm like, bro, you got to have a good balance. And he's like, bro, I'm turning up. I'm living my life. I'm like, I ain't mad at you.
So I heard there's a story. Maybe you can clarify, but something was happening. There was dissent in the locker room. They were talking about who should start between Andre Miller and Ty Lawson, and like the whole team is there, the coaching staff is there, and
it wasn't about starting. It wasn't about starting. Let me tell you. Let me clarify that. It wasn't about starting.
Yeah.
So that day was the first day, and it's pretty cool. Not cool that I got to witness it, but it was kind of crazy that I got to witness it. That it was the first day that Andre Miller got his first DMP of his career.
Right.
And I mean, for some people, like they want that played every game. You know what I'm saying? He deserves that. Like Andre put in work. He's been playing with some of the best. He's one of the best point guards to play the game. In my opinion, smart, cool guy. You know what I'm saying? Real laid back, real humble. Don't talk much, and he got that squeaky little voice, and it's funny. So when we came in the locker, it started on the court, he was playing, and then the time kept going, and then Andre was on the bench, and he was like, "There's no way I'm getting my first DMP today. Like, what's up?" During the timeout, he was like, "Coach is like, what's up?" And after the game, we got to the locker room, and Andre, he was hot, he was mad, and he wanted to say he stopped, he stopped Coach. Y'all want to say something before everybody starts saying something. He says, "Coach, I just think that it was disrespectful and it was not cool that, I got my first DMP. I didn't play. I don't know what the reason why, I don't get to play." And Coach was like, "Man, we're just going with the younger guy. We're going with the younger guy." And he was like, "What you mean by younger guys? Because you guys should give me an opportunity to fight for minutes." You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Man, I think that's unfair." He was like, "Me and Nate come in here every day before everybody's here and work out every day. And you guys come and you guys just give guys certain minutes and play guys certain minutes, and it's like we don't have no chance to earn more minutes." And he was like, "I think that's corny, that you handle it like that." And then Coach B. Shaw was like, "Well, I'm the coach and I can play who I want and when I want or whatever with the rule." And he was like, "Honestly, it wasn't even my call. It was management. But you're a grown man. I'm a grown man, and we can handle it and talk and figure out what's the best solution." And Andre Miller was like, "The best solution was for me to play and help the team. We lost the game. You know what I'm saying? I got wisdom. I got years. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, and I was like, wow, everything you said is true." So he was like, Andre Miller goes to his phone and was like, I forgot what B Shaw said. Coach Shaw said something, and it triggered him. And Andre Miller was like, "Man, you had Shaq and Kobe. That's why you got your rings. Those rings were just those rings were handed to you. You didn't earn those. And then he went to that, and he was like, "You averaged 2 points your whole career. You didn't do nothing." Like he was going in on him. And I was like, everybody was looking around like, is he really talking to Coach like this? And he, Andre Miller got that voice. He was like, "Yeah, man. You averaged 2 points a game." And I was trying not to laugh, the whole time. But that was the day, he was like, you got guys coming in late, you got guys showing up to shoot around late, everybody just, saying that, saying honest, real stuff. And it was just pandemonium in that locker room, man. It was just all bad. And then like that rest of the year was just up and down, just like that for the rest of the year. And during the year, whenever Andre would play, like when we played, every time he played and we like made a shot or we did something, we put two fingers in the sky, we pointed at God like you the man, like that was Andre's thing. So every time we shot the ball, we did something, we always did that for Andre. In games, we were doing it for Dre, pointing to the sky. It was like a funny thing that we used to do. So but it was fun, man. I had a blast playing for the Denver Nuggets.
I heard a little extra part of that story, which was
tell me.
So Andre and Coach are going at it, right? Just like you said, and they're going at it totally this or that, and you don't have the rings, and Shaw, you ain't shit, this, that, the other, and then Andre's going, and you know what, and what's it, Ty ain't shit, he ain't even that good, like, you should give me miss, that's it, that, the other.
He was going hard.
He was going hard, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just pop up, and then you go, I be busting Ty's ass too.
Oh yeah, I did say that. I did say that because in practice. No, listen, come on.
Nate won his minutes, baby. Nate won his minutes.
No, you know what? Nate won a job. He left that part out the story.
No, because since we were on the topic about like playing minutes and stuff, I was like, well, I'll be busting his ass too. Right, and it's funny because he didn't say nothing. He couldn't say anything because every day in practice, the second squad, the second unit, me, Andre, Alonzo G, like we had a squad. Like we and Darrell Arthur, we used to really kick our first unit's ass every single day. Like we used to have a tally of how many scrimmages we would win, and we would like really keep that and take that to heart. So I was like, man, I was like, man, this is the time. And I was like, man, I said, we do come here every day. And I do be busting his ass. So, yeah, we do need more minutes. It was like, that was my time. I had to get in where I fit in. Yeah, that's a true story. And it was hella funny. I was like, I had to add my 2 cents in. That's funny. That's funny. So, like, hey, if Ty would have said, yeah, right. I was like, bro, we can go upstairs right now to gym. I would have told him to check up right now. Let's start the 1 immediately.
Bro,
I'm not playing no games, but no, it did go down like that. But look, it was funny because that we were trying to we were a solid team. We were trying to make the playoffs towards the end of the season, but we had some great games and great times, playing. And after that happened, man, it was like I don't know what triggered us, but it got kind of crazy. But then we started winning a couple games. I was like, man, maybe we turn around, but now we fell up short for making the playoffs.
Now, Nate, I mentioned earlier you're the only person in NBA history to win 3 slam dunk contests, and one of those dunk contests back when back when we were allowed to get as many attempts as you wanted to. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people were down on that. I thought it was extremely impressive that like you even managed to pull off a dunk after like the 10th or 12th attempt. You know what I mean? Because like I would have been winded. So, like, what was going through your mind, like, during that? Was there any point you're like,
man, I was like, this enough. I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, this is going on long enough.
Listen, so I'm stubborn at times when that's a dunk that I used to do so easy. And so that, like, for me not to make it in front of everybody, it kind of pissed me off. And I'm like, well, I'm still doing it no matter what points I get. I don't care how many times it takes me. I'm making this dunk. So that's what it was, man. I was just so frustrated. And then on top of that, like, being at the dunk contest, a little nervous, people, millions of people watching, and, I just like, man, I can make this dunk, but, it's the same thing, shit. If I did the same dunk 3 times and trying to get more points doing
he
the same
lost,
thing.
fam. He didn't get out the fucking
exactly. Well, how do you expect to win? How do you expect to win doing the exact same dunk every time? All my dunks were all different.
I remember he listened to Kobe. Kobe told him what to do, and then you just listen to Kobe, obviously. But Kobe, don't know. Kobe old. Dunk contest passed him by.
That's the only time you're supposed to not listen to the Kobe mentality.
Nate, question. Why don't you go to China and just bust their ass for a couple years?
Because, bro, I don't know what it is. China has not reached out to me. Not one team.
You're kidding.
No way.
You know how good it would be to go to China and feel tall?
But it just looks so it looks cheesy. Like basketball, I'm watching Jimmer Fredette scoring 80. Are you kidding me? Like, no.
How trash is Jimmer?
I want to play. I'm not saying he's trash. That's not what I'm saying. He's a scorer. He can score the ball. He's a solid player. I like Jimmer Fredette.
But would he give you buckets?
But for him, hell no. Jimmer Fredette's not giving me no. I'm not giving him. He's not giving me no buckets. No, sir. No, sir. I played against him before. No, he's not. I refuse to let Jimmer Fredette give me any buckets.
So you don't think he's dropping 80?
No, a guy that probably lost his virginity at 25, he's definitely not giving me buckets. Hell no. No, sir. No, sir. Hell no.
Yo, because we had Jimmer on the show, and he said the easiest guy to score on was you.
That's a lie. Don't even start that.
We fucking with you, man. We fucking with you.
Yo, he on the flight to Beijing right now.
No,
What's
sir.
up there, Jimmer?
No, sir.
All right, now
no, I seen him play against. He gave Phil Pierre Jackson 85 points or something.
God damn.
But in China, but it wasn't him. He didn't give Pierre. He gave the other team because in China, the other American can't guard the other American. They make the Chinese kid guard the American, and that's why they be having 80, 90 points and stuff over there. I mean, my guy. Shout out to my boy. Who's over there killing?
Russ Smith. Russ Smith from Louisville. Yeah.
He's over there averaging 80 points a game. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can get buckets over there. So, I mean, it's cool, but I want to play real hoop. I need to get to Europe. If I can't play in the league again, I need to get to Europe. I want to play where all these so-called great players from Europe come out of, and I want to show them, like, okay, yeah, y'all ain't shit.
This is gonna be our goal with this episode. And once this joint gets out, I need every European team, every EuroLeague team, everything overseas.
Man, give me a chance.
Yo, give Nate a call, man. He's in the Big 3 league right now. You over there cooking, by the way.
Yeah, I'm trying to, man.
As far as those guys in the Big 3 and the guys that are over there, aside from yourself, who do you look at in that league and be like, yo, he can still go to the NBA right now and get a few buckets? Who do you think is over there that can do that? Besides yourself.
Mahmoud, he's 49 years old, cooking in the Big 3.
Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
Man, what?
Yeah.
Did you see him? I think he could probably still play in the NBA right now. Give him a 10 days and see what he can do.
I always tell people he was the first Steph Curry, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He got blackballed out the league, so I know how you feel. So yeah, he's definitely one of the greats, man. He's a GOAT forever.
Do you feel?
I'm a fan.
Do you feel like you're blackballed from the league?
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you
think?
A little bit of
blackballed, a little bit of me being ahead of my time. You know, being in the NBA a little too early than I was supposed to. I think that, you know, right now, like looking at the league and how it got like back in the day when I came in the league, when I was trying to wear crazy shoes, they were telling me, no, you can't do it. We're gonna find you. Like, how you gonna find me from wearing any shoe I want? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in that era before they started to let people wear whatever and do whatever. Like, I was trying to do all that. I was trying to get jerseys kind of crazy. They were not trying to listen to me. And now look at all these different jerseys. I was trying to give the NBA so much different swag, and they were not messing with me back then, man. But I think I was just a little bit. I was just a little bit before my time, man. I was too much of the people's champ, and the coaches and GMs. I don't think they liked that, man. They didn't like the fact that they sat me down and didn't play me, and people were screaming, "We want Nate" at the games. They hated that, I think.
Has there ever been a situation in your life where you had to convince a girl that you were yourself?
Yeah. Yep. I did one time, man. It was crazy. Like, I remember this one time, I was talking to this girl, and I was trying to rap to her, and she was like, "Are you like one of their friends?" And I'm like, "I'm not one of their homies. I'm not one of these homies, girl. You better act about me." I was like, you playing me like that? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you tickets to the game. I'll give you tickets to the game, kid. Tickets to the game.
You showed her.
I gave her tickets to the game one time, man. Had a great game, and she's like, "Oh yeah, oh no, I don't want to go out with you now, baby."
Should have just jumped over that bitch and been like, "What do you think? I'm just here hanging out."
Nah, I had to keep her at bay, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to let them know. And then once they seen Nate Robinson, they see, he had billboards downtown in Manhattan and right there in Times Square. They're like, "Oh, that's a little short, ugly dude that was trying to talk to me. I should have talked to him." But I was like, "Nah, baby. I'm taking these little short, ugly cats somewhere else."
Now, here's a question. When you got a girl in the crowd that you want to impress, are you going harder than normal?
Nah, man, I always play my game, and if whatever happens in between times, then that's what it was. Like, the thing I used to love about playing in the Garden, man, it would be so many dope celebrities on Celebrity Row right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember Jessica Alba came to the game.
There's clips of
Rihanna,
you.
Beyonce, like so many different beautiful celebrities to come to the games, and I used to be like, damn, they're just right there. I said, man, I hope I save a ball over there and just knock them over and just like, what's up, baby, how you doing? And get back to the game.
Hey, Nate, I got to keep you a little honest. You mentioned Beyonce and Rihanna. There's clips of you on ESPN freaking out over Will Ferrell. Don't leave out Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell's my guy, man. Will Ferrell's my guy. I've been a big fan. Just, Talladega Nights is one of my favorite movies, and Step Brothers, like, he would come to the games, and I'm like, yo, like, that's one of my favorite actors.
You were
like,
geeking.
Shake and bake. So my little calling when I scored, it was shake and bake. It was like, that was my thing, shake and bake. So he came to the game one day. I'm like, oh shit, he's at the game, and I went to the announcer. I said, yo, I'm going hard. I said, hey, play that extra loud tonight. So I ended up, he came to a game one time. We played Indiana, and I ended up having like 41. And like I was waiting for a moment. To go give him a shake and bake, like a dap. And I remember the time where I came down the court and I had a 4-point play. I shot a 3 and dude fouled me on my elbow, and I had a 4-point play, and I walked all the way over because he wasn't on the side where we was the hoop. He was on the other side. So I walked all the way over to the side and gave him a shake and bake, and they got a dope picture of it. And I be posting it sometimes on Throwback Thursday, but that was like a super glory moment. Like I shake and bake with Talladega Night of Bobby. What? With Ricky Bobby himself? I was geeked. I gave him a jersey after the game, signed jersey and everything. So yeah, I was pretty stoked that he came to the game.
Now, you always played the same no matter who was in the stands, but I noticed LeBron just scored 51 when he went back to Miami. Do you think that there could be some shorty in Miami that he was trying to impress?
Oh God.
Nah, man, LeBron's chasing GOAT dreams, man. He's trying to chase Mike and everything that he's accomplished. And shit, he wants to be the best player ever, lace up the sneakers. So that's what he's chasing. LeBron ain't chasing no girls, man.
Hear that.
He ain't chasing no girls. He got probably every girl in the world already on his nuts, so he good.
But his main side chick is probably in Miami.
LeBron James, come on, man, he's good.
Yo, Nate, I got a few questions. Sorry to cut you off a little bit. I got a few questions I need to ask you for. I don't think you played for great coaches. I already said that. Who was the worst coach you played for?
Tom Thibodeau's not a good coach. You don't think Tom Thibodeau's
I don't think he's not a good coach. I just think he doesn't care about your body at all. Like, whatever happens to you, I don't give a fuck you're playing 50 minutes in a 48-minute game.
No, you know what it is? The reason why he coaches like that is because he never had the opportunity to play minutes like that. So he's like, I'm playing these guys so much. That's what it is. He's just a basketball junkie, man. He loves hoop. He wants. And it's crazy because when I was on the board, I love the fact that he played me too much when he had to play me. I never wanted to come out. So you never heard me complain about him in minutes, ever. I would never complain about minutes. If a coach wanted to play me the whole game, please, coach, please don't take me out. I would, unless I asked to and I'm tired. I need a sub. If that, I want to play all the minutes. So I don't know what Jimmy Butler be tripping about. He playing too much now. I want to play every minute. I don't care until I can't play basketball no more. I want to play every minute because that's how much I love the game.
When you were in Chicago, D Rose is there. Would D Rose give you buckets during practice? What up, asshole army? It's Schulz here, and you would just listen to the Flagrant 2 boys chop it up with the legends, Nate Robinson. We got some more of that interview left and a full episode of Flagrant 2 on our Patreon page. You can go over there right now to patreon.com/flagrant2 to sign up, join the army, see what we got cooking over there. You can see we're going hard right now. Last week we had Carlos Boozer. This week we had Nate Robinson. Next week, who knows? But come on, join the army. We're doing some amazing fucking things over here. And of course, you get to witness that unfiltered peak flagrancy. And for all of y'all that have already signed it up and are listening, man, thank y'all so much for supporting us with what we're doing. It's real shit Fight Club, man. We're going to change the way content is put out in the world. I promise you that. Matter of fact, we're already changing it. So that's patreon.com/flagrant2. Thank y'all so much for your support. Peace.